Okay, here we are back at the line hone machine. This is our actual project block. Up to this point I've been showing you operations on a customer block, but from here on out it'll be the actual block that we will auction off. As I've explained before, I always line bore MGBs for many reasons I won't go into here, but in my opinion they all need it, and this one was no exception. We did have to replace number 2 cap. If you read in the thread, it describes why. I've already line bored this and shot for a thou under finish size so that I could show the line honing process. Normally I would just shoot for finish size, but in this case, being a demonstration, I came up a thou shy. And so I'm going to hone the last thousandths out in the line hone. Now this is the machine. It's pretty simple. As you can see, there's a drive motor on this end that runs on some linear bearings that you just manually stroke back and forth. And there's the line hone mandrel in the block, and I have quite a selection of them. I can line hone, I think, down to 1 3/4 up to 4.5 inch, and those are some of the mandrels. That's what they look like, and they do cost between $2,000 and $3,500 a piece. So it's not an inexpensive machine by any stretch. So I will take a few strokes on this and show you how it's done. Now there's a constant oil bath coming out of this manifold. Put oil on the mandrel for the entire time. Little manifold thing here. Alright, so 1,000ths to go. We'll just take a few strokes and show you how it's done. A little light on the pressure, so I'll crank that up. Kind of a messy job. Oil goes everywhere. Now you probably heard the motor wasn't bogging down or dragging, trying to correct an out around situation, because the bores are nice and round because I've previously line bored it. So here I have another sun bore gauge, the 24-inch version for reaching down into main lines. We just check our progress as we go. Okay, we got 7/10, 6/10, 6/10, 5/10, and 7/10. Now the reason we get a little variation like that sometimes is the actual width of the journal. The wider journals, the material actually comes out slower than the narrow journal, so you do have to be diligent in tracking your progress to make sure that you don't end up with a couple of them too big. Doesn't take much. Like I say, I'm already very close to finish size, so normally if you're strictly line honing a block, you would have to do many more strokes than this. Okay, 3, 2 tenths of 1,000ths. 2, 2, and 2. So we're very, very close. And this one's coming in pretty good. Another couple of strokes and we'll be at finished size. So that's that process. And again, I consider the line hone more of a finish tool. You can line hone blocks only, but if you have a situation like this block where you have to replace a cap, and I had to take 10 thousandths out of that cap because it was smaller than the original cap. So in my opinion, line boring previous to line honing is a must, but it can be done. Anyway, next thing for this block will be in the CNC machine for boring and decking, and I'll hopefully get to that in a couple of days.